As time itself ripened, reading a book or listening to a story isn't about looking into a visual aspect. Reading is about stretching your mind to grasp new concepts and interpret imagination. As well as with words, they are longevity than usual. I'm Nolan B. Shriver of the TSDC Harlingen campus, and I'll explain to you why reading a book is much more powerful than attending events with technology around the world. As I mentioned earlier about words that are longevity, words have an amazing power to help, to heal, to learn, and to humble, because we can use them to build others up and bring the community together through a positive attitude. Excuse me. When I began attending this campus a few years ago, I didn't know how to write words in sentences until I comprehended how to process good understanding through reading. For some reason, words crystallizes perception that would shape our beliefs, drive our behaviors, and lastly create our world, which arises from our emotional responses when we read, when we read, speak, or hear from others than ourselves. Now, I would like to declare a statement on how reading a book improves your vocabulary, writing abilities through knowledge, continuing to have a passion for reading, and fulfilling the purposes on why reading is important. First of all, let's keep in mind why reading is important: to improve discerning through the matter of awareness and wisdom. The word bibliophilia comes from the Greek, meaning a bibliophile, or a bookworm, is an individual that loves to read books and collects an amount of literature by educating his or her staff. According to Dr. Michael Awose Akaya from the Koforidua Polytechnic, stated that reading develops a better understanding of one's own experiences and can be a flabbergasting voyage to develop to a self-discovery within that person. In addition, reading is an essential tool because every child, whether he or she, should be educated in his or her way, possess good habits, and can perform well in academics in every situation. From Dr. Pellini, he stated that reading shapes the individual's personality and develops proper thinking methods and creates new ideas. And comprehension helps to identify symbols and words in isolation and in every context through a meaning. Dr. A. Horning suggests that reading obtains an emphasis to obtain new meanings from any text or words through the analysis, synthesis, and evaluation purposes. Jane Mount, an author of Bibliophilia, acknowledged that reading books is her favorite hobby, and for that reason, reading books shows us worlds as we see them as others see them, by helping us to recognize each other and reminding us we're all human beings. Now that we talked about books that develop knowledge, let's discuss how books help you to have a passion with you by enduring more. To share a little bit of history, in the 1950s, Malcolm X was arrested and spent 7 years in prison, self-educating a passion to read books, including an entire dictionary, with pencils and tablets, which literature is a key to freedom. As we're attending college campuses, we as students are dedicated to earning a curriculum that we choose a major program and accept a passion to earn knowledge by looking through books and references in a resource center or a library. More often, we would be able to focus more on courses with the books we're given to use for a better writing prompt on essays and assignments. Of course, textbooks and magazines from a library can encourage us to broaden more ideas along with information and perception in our minds, so to speak, concerning the capabilities of education itself. Now that we know about having a passion, let's move on to our last discussion on why there is a purpose to continue reading. As the reading book develops improvements to your health, so does learning new things that can help you succeed in both work and in relationships. From the Nord Anglia International School, Studies shows that reading can make a big difference to children's educational performance, such as developing widespread vocabulary, increasing general knowledge, and a better understanding of cultures. For some reason, people and children read around the world for different purposes, such as leisure, relaxation, information, and lastly, knowledge. Plus, reading is an essential tool for transferring a wealth of human experiences and explaining through reading. Becker's et al. Studies shows long-term effects on intrinsic and extrinsic motivations in students for reading literacy, like intrinsic is doing activity for its satisfaction, while extrinsic is competing for an action that leads to an outside outcome. To sum up, as I end my speech today, I would like to say that reading a book or story can help bring inspiration not only to us, but to everyone everywhere. As we're involved with advanced technology, we should be relying on proper physical books that can help us adapt more to reality than on screens and computers. Today, I have spoken to you about reading books that can help increase knowledge in both mind and heart, finding a passion to share an interest in reading books, and discovering a true purpose of why words are powerful, more powerful to change things than the action itself. As I mentioned, advanced technology, books along with other reading materials have the words and deeds of meaningful things, people, places, events, moments in lives, etc. From a person around the world itself. As we continue to read more, we strive to understand something deeper from a person or people who we are. Why read books and stories that contain importance? The answer is simple. Reading is our calling and passion, as well as seeking knowledge and enlightenment for others, for people other than ourselves. As books and other materials are included in videos and audios, they sometimes lack a purpose of reading because the video itself is invasive, as well as the audio itself lacks nuance, but the word itself has longevity.